But Arsenal started like a house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. I hope you are all doing well this morning. I hope you're feeling better than me, because I'm feeling rough. Bruh. It's brutal right now to be a Leeds United fan. We cannot see the wood through the trees, the light at the end of the tunnel. It almost feels like it's game over. But there are still, 15 games left? More than that, is there? I'm not too sure. I should have already known that. There's some tough fixtures coming. But Leeds United can get out of it. They can get out of it if the club acts and gets us a manager. What are we still doing? It's Sunday. We should now at least have some sort of news as to someone coming in charge. You know, we should have that. There should be someone here now. You know, we should have someone close to us who's you know, coming in the door at least. You know, I don't think I'm delusional to say that we can't win games of football. Of course we can. You know, we've got Rafa Benitez twerking on Sky Sports saying, I want a Premier League job. I want a project. Me and my staff have experience at this level. I have offers from China. I have offers from Mexico, but I want to stay in Europe. I want to stay in England. My family are happy here. We live up north. Give him the fecking job. Just let your ego drop for a second and realize that, you know, all this chat about Iriola, all this chat about Slot, do you think they're going to come to a championship club? Because if we don't sort it out, that's where we're going. That is where we're going. It is brutal. You know, Claudio's hit the money. Big up to you, brother. He says, feels like the board needs to be bullied into decisions by fans at the minute. So stagnant. It is, right? The guy who runs the football club is Victor Orta. He's the man. They pay too much credence to what that man has to say. And we're seeing all the clips now. Sack of the board, he told us after Bournemouth. We're the only Premier League club that hasn't won a game since then, by the way. Presided over our worst run, our worst winning run after 20 games since 1947. 1947, you know, 4 wins, worst run. You know, you should see the state of our record. It looks like a pack of bloody Starburst, man. I mean, we all know we love them greens. It's like the purple one in Quality Streets. You only get a couple of greens in Starburst. That's what ours looks. All them red ones, yellow ones. No one wants them. Give me the greens. Leeds United need wins. We can't get wins. Can't buy a win. And listen, I backed Skubala because I felt sorry for the guy. He's a nice bloke, but he ain't got the facilities. He hasn't got the facilities for the job. And we knew that anyway. Like, we knew that anyway. Of course, when people say back the team, now still today, I'm getting grief on social media for questioning the board. I don't get it. I genuinely don't get it. What are you not seeing? What are you watching? What makes you believe that they have the answers? Boys, get down. 1 sec. They do not have the answers, and it's beggars belief that people still think they do. You know, so the fans do have to act. I know Claudio's a season ticket holder, match-going fan. You know what it's going to be like on Sunday. The place is going to be toxic. Can you imagine? If they don't have a manager, they've got a week. But then again, they had 9 days from Jesse getting sacked to the next fixture. You know what I mean? 9 days, and they didn't get it. Joe, take it on the chin. We're down. Listen, call me crazy, but you get a decent manager in. And it can and will change. I'm not saying we'll stay up. I do think it's a big, big ask. Yeah? But, yeah, I've seen this. I've just been watching, Connor. I've watched KG. I watch a lot of people. Leeds content and also other content. And I've seen that comment. Fan channels are the problem. It's mental, that, isn't it? What are we, Arsenal? We're saying at Ellen Road, get Just Joe out of our club. It's mental, isn't it? It's mental that people think that you have that sort of power. It's mental. Oh, it's mental. It is mad. I don't know what the answers are, people. I wish I knew. You know, we've got like I say, we've got Victor. Not only that, at Brentford, when he's saying, that video's doing the rounds, when he's going 17 years without Premier League, without me. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? I wish I was. Listen, there's 2 managers out there for me that can get a tune out of us. I know people will disagree. I said Rafa, I said Nuno weeks ago. And then after one result, people are going, oh, nah, just get anybody in now. Do you know what I mean? And this is a good point as well. They don't drive it, they reflect it. And if people have a start your own, innit? Start your own, give it a bash. It's harder than it looks. Sacking them all. Yeah, this isn't as well. And the players are also culpable. Jack Harrison put in the worst performance in a Leeds United shirt yesterday. For me, I don't think I've seen him play worse. And the mad thing is, and again, this comes back to Skubala, he kept him on till like 85th minute. And then I start to worry about player power, about this leadership group, because he's leaning on them, and you do need experience. I'm sort of being a hypocrite here because I've said about experience, but we can't have them making decisions. Do you know what I mean? We can't have them making decisions. Really, can we? Because Bamford was not having a good afternoon, and Harrison, for me, was the worst player on the pitch. And Skubala kept him on, whereas previously he brought him off. So did he look at his decision at Man United and think, oh, I better not make that decision again, I'll change someone else? It's not good. You need to be the man, to say nah. And I think someone like Rafa, someone like Nuno, who have done bits in the game. Nuno's played in, he was on the bench for the Champions League, but he's played under Jose Mourinho. You know what I mean? He's played under some top managers as Nuno, and then also done well in jobs. Yeah, has also done well in jobs. And then you've got Rafa Benitez, who people scoffed at, who's won Champions Leagues, who's managed at Real Madrid. He's even got experience in the Championship with Newcastle. We played them that year. He's even got... This guy is perfect almost for Leeds United, because guess what? If we do go down, if you do give him a project, I would be more confident of coming back at the first time of asking under someone like Rafa Benitez as opposed to some Nomark from Europe who once managed 3 games in the Champions League for a team that's in a farmers league, because that's what type of manager you'll get under Victor Orta. We've seen it before. I said it yesterday. That man there, and it was beautiful. Remember this as well. I used to say on videos, enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it while it's here. I'm a little bit older than maybe some of the viewers, not as old as some, because my demographics say there's a lot more older. Big up to the oldies. But what I'm saying is, enjoy it while it lasts. And since he left, as bad as them weeks were, when we were getting spanked 6-0, look at the squad, look at the injuries. Still very rarely lost to teams in the bottom 3. We're never in the relegation zone under him. We'll never know if we'd have gone down. Just like Jesse supporters will tell me, we'll never know if he'd have kept us up. We will just never know. But ever since he walked out or was shit on and sent away from the football club, the last 18 months have been brutal. We've had a few nice times. Brentford, last game of the season. And I'll still stand by the fact the manager nearly lost us that. They were down to 9 men. It was mental. And then we've had Liverpool, but let's be honest, they've only just turned the corner, 2 wins on the bounce. We've had Chelsea. They can't buy you in now, already sacked the manager when we beat him. We got Bournemouth. I mean, we were 3-0 down. 3-0 down to Bournemouth at home. And he's going, sack of the board. Get it up, you shit pipe. Honestly. But the mad thing is, they have the opportunity to turn it around. They have the opportunity to turn it around by going to get a manager worth his salt. Worth his salt. For anyone who hasn't seen the Sky clip on Rafa Benitez, there's an article being done in the Liverpool Echo about what he had to say. So I'm going to share that with you. Because if this isn't him saying, I want a Premier League job, then I don't know what is. Guess who need a manager? Leeds United. Knowing our luck, Southampton will get in there and we'll be left with Skubala till end of season. We'll go down and then we'll be away from Premier League for another 16 years because we'll have to have a fire sale. The 49ers won't want to know. And we'll be back where we was. Do you know what I mean? Back where we was. But remember, you know, without Victor, we wouldn't even be here. That's what we have to remember. This is the article, okay? So this is what he said. They said to him, what's next for Rafa? He said, I've said so many times, it depends. You need a project. I was lucky enough to manage a lot of teams. And of course I did that. Won some trophies. Yeah. So what he's saying is, I've done what I needed to do in the game. He said, and now I can say, I don't like this project. I like this one. He can be selective. I mean, if he's being selective, there's a big chance he don't come to Leeds anyway, but it's a massive club. He's worked under worse owners in Mike Ashley at Newcastle. He even stayed when they went out of the Championship. So he's got a bit about him. You know, he's not just going to jump because Mike Ashley was a terrible owner at Newcastle. I don't think he was half as bad as some of the owners we've had. And sometimes I think Newcastle think they were hard done by. You know, he always spent money and, okay, he didn't really. But, you know, there's a lot worse owners than Mike Ashley, but he was still a bad owner, people. And Rafa stayed there. Rafa the Gaffer, they used to call him in Newcastle. Give me some of that. Give me someone to cling on to like that, like we had under Marcelo. Because the manager since just rubbed everyone up the wrong way, if we're being realistic. And now the owners are doing an even bigger job than that. How can you get it so wrong? After everyone being so positive prior to Man United, getting a 2-2 draw, that I can imagine. We're at the game, you know, I've made this decision, but I know the atmosphere on the Sunday would have been electric after drawing midweek, new manager, new horizons. Now check the mood going into Southampton 1 week later. That's what they've presided over. How can you get it so wrong? How can you get it so wrong? You know, and Rafa's out here saying, I want a job. He says, my problem is I am fine and happy in England in terms of the Premier League, my family and everything. He's here. He wants to be here. So sometimes you make decisions that are a risk. Is Leeds United a risk? Yes, it is. Does he mind? No. But he says the reality is that the Premier League is the best league now in the world, and I want to be around Europe. I have things, offers in China, South Korea, or Mexico, but he's turning them down. But you need a project with all the experience I have. Yeah. He didn't say stats. He said in the interview, he said, my staff is quite good on these things. He mentioned his staff. His team are ready to go. His team are ready to go. None of this, let's be honest. We have a haphazard of coaches. What are they doing? There's no continuity. The last time we had continuity was with Marcelo Bielsa from top to bottom. Even he allowed Corberan in. Normally he won't allow. He allowed him in, and look how well he did. And what did we do? We shit on him as well by saying, here, come for 18 months and then we'll bin you off. And he's gone, no, we're jokers. We're jokers. That's what we are. So Rafa's going to bring continuity and going to look at it and go, I'm sorry, Chris Armas, on your bike. You know, all the rest of it, it's all disjointed. Bielsa brought it all together. These have presided in 18 months to smash it to bits. How could you get it so wrong? How can you get it so wrong? It's beggars belief. He said, I have all the experience. My staff is quite good on these things, so we can build something. I was talking about project, but a project now is 3 weeks, so it's not 3 years. 3 weeks and you're under pressure. We need some time in the right project. Well, Leeds United need to recognise the situation that they're in and say, we are that project, Rafa. And if you take us down, we're okay. Because with you in the helm and the right backing and making sure we don't lose everyone, I think we can come back up. And I would have confidence. Even I sit here now and say, maybe he does keep us up. Maybe he doesn't. But with him in charge, I'd be confident of us returning. because you can guarantee, bet your bottom dollar, Rafa will go for someone who's managed in the Cypriot League, who once took a Cypriot team to the knockout stages, the qualification stages of the Champions League, one of them reclamation projects, like your TCs, that we've seen before. Mental. There's a manager there basically saying, come and get me. Come and get me. I have it on pretty good authority as well that Leeds United spoke to Nuno. They made contact with his camp. But they're not close to getting him. And this was yesterday evening. Nothing is close. I spoke to this person today who is pretty well connected. I'm not trying to profess to be ITK, but, and they said, look, still nothing. Still nothing. However, he did say those inside Leeds are aware of the fans' disappointment and are working on doing something. They're working on doing something. We're yet to hear anything on the grapevine. Maybe they're adopting the way in which they go about it. Because let's be honest, up to this point, being as transparent, well, it's not even being as transparent. They're just trying to flex their muscles. 48 hours, yeah, white smoke on the way and all this sort of BS that we heard from them. Yeah, because that's what it was, BS. Maybe they're going to look at it differently and try be quiet and tight-lipped and stop leaking stuff to the press, to your man Fabrizio Romano, etc. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. But, we'll see. Nuno, Rafa, get them in. Get them in. And if people say we ain't got the players to adopt their style, etc., again, that's fair enough. Let them fecking rebuild it in the Championship, because I feel like we're going down. I do feel like we're going down. But someone like Rafa, who has gravitas, who says to this leadership group, get in the bin. I'm the boss here. I make the decisions, right? Nuno's agree that as well. So I had a Tottenham fan, big shout out Matt Hayes. He knows his stuff going, his man management's piss poor, Joe. He's so distant. That's what we need. Bielsa was never close. The one time Bielsa was close is when he hugged Calvin and that when he won the Championship. These players don't need that close manager. They don't need it. Because for me, they've with Skubala come together to try and put up a plan against Everton, and we were shocking. We were shocking. Absolutely shocking. I don't want someone who's going to come in and mollycoddle them, because we've just had that. We've just had that. We've had the number one at that. Let's be realistic. If you want boosting, and to be told you're the best thing since sliced bread, then Jesse Marsch is that. We know that. Jesse Marsch is that. But listen, get someone like Rafa who's going to come in. You don't need to give them that. I've won Champions Leagues. You listen to me. Sit down and shut up. Because that's what they need. They don't need to be told in every interview, Jack Harrison's the best player I've ever worked with. Liam Cooper's the best captain I've ever worked with. You know what I mean? Luke Ayling's got the best hair I've ever seen. Because that's what it was getting like. We don't need any of it. They need, yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. They had the audacity to go to Marcelo Bielsa and to tell him to change his ways. Now, a lot of us might agree and all that sort of stuff, but nah. How dare they? Yeah, Ayling does have good hair, though, yeah. How dare they? And then we had another manager, total polar opposites. We were told it was a seamless transition. You couldn't get more different if you tried. Let's be honest. This is what we're dealing with. This is who's running the football club. Yeah? A seamless transition would be going from smoking cigarettes to having a go on a vape. Yeah? That's a similar transition. Not from a guy that never speaks to a person to a guy that blows smoke up your ass. Joanne says, get back. How, Joanne? I can't. I wish I could. I wish I could. I wish I had the I don't like feeling like this. I do not like feeling like this. It's terrible. Bad D, that's better, man. It's true. It's true. It's mental. There are no positives, Joanne. I wish they were. If you can give me... The only positives we can hope, and again, this is hoping and praying. Alhamdulillah, hallelujah, amen, yeah? The only hope we have is if they pull their finger out of each other's backside, yeah? And actually get us a manager that's going to make us better, who's going to try and get us results. Because yesterday was shocking. Worst run of form since 1947. There are no positives. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm going to share, look at this. It's like a pack of opal fruits. It's like a pack of opal fruits, this. Look at that. That is our form in the last 20 games. It is shocking. It is abysmal. And do you know what? The worst thing to happen to us was Liverpool. They saved him his job. But like Dan Moylan says on Square Ball all the time, if you're having worries, just make the decision. Not just based on one game. Look at it. Couple of greens in there. It's shocking. And the worry is, where do we go from here? Where do Leeds United get their results? You know? Because if we look at these fixtures, and again, I said, this is the point I said, right? I said before, and I stand by this statement, right? If we got a new manager in, like Iriola, like Slot, okay, style of football would look amazing, etc. But if it didn't work from the jump, yeah, if it did not work from the jump, Leeds United would be in trouble. However, if you bring in a Nuno, if you bring in a Rafa, we might lose to Everton. We might draw again, but I still have confidence that they will get us points in the remaining fixtures. Now, it's a massive mountain to climb. It's a massive mountain to climb, but I would have much more confidence going into games with someone like Rafa and Nuno than any other person. I'm sorry. I don't want to play listen, you know how much I love Bielsa ball, but ultimately for me, the Premier League football is the holy grail. People enjoyed the Championship for what it was, away days, you know, atmospheres, all that stuff. But if we're being honest, we want to be in the Premier League. The journey's been better than the end goal, of course, yeah. But you know, I just every season in the Championship that I would go, my whole thought was, this is our season. This is our season. And then we got here, and it was amazing. And it was beautiful, as the book says there by Phil here. And they've presided to rip it up within 18 months. And you have to get rid of your principles now. You need to go and say, do you know what? We messed up, fans. We're going to go get someone who's going to keep us up, and then we'll see where we go from there. And even if we go down with a Rafa or Nuno, if they're going to buy into the project, both of their managers, guess what they did? They both won the Championship. They both won the Championship. Newcastle at a canter. Wolves, you could argue, the best Championship team there's ever been. I will still stand by Bielsa's because of the ball we played, but even still, this is the point. Not only do you have a chance of staying in the division, you have two managers that have managed at the highest level, but have also won the Championship, which, guess what? That's where we're going. It's a no-brainer. Like, this is what I'm saying. They have the audacity to question fans in programme notes, to come out and say, oh, it's all, you know, sack of the board and all this, right? Did we tell them we needed a midfielder last season? Do you remember saying that? Because I remember saying it. Did we tell them we needed a left-back and a striker at the start of the summer? Do you remember telling them that? Because I remember telling them that. And who's right here? Did a lot of fans say this wasn't working under Jesse? Who told them that? Did you tell them that? Because I told them that. Who's right here? If we're weighing it up, who's the majority right? No, you're right, Steve. They haven't. And the way that they'll do that is, sorry, Skubala, is by keeping him in charge. I feel like I'm doing, because it's not his fault. It's not his fault. But he ain't got it, has he? We've seen that. I felt harsh, but, you know, Rocco came on the final word, which is back tonight at 8 o'clock, and said, Joe, no, he needs to get, you know, some criticism for him costing the game against Man United, because the subs did. And his tactics yesterday were not the one. They were shocking. They were shocking. Big up Sean if he's in the chat. Someone's just said, hey, Sean. Big up Jack. Sean, whatever your name is. Yeah, Scoobs is the scapegoat. 100%. But I just don't understand how, when you've got two managers that have both been on record of saying they want to come to the Premier League, and we're going, nah, we'll wait for Slot or Iriola. For what? Do you think they're going to come to Championship? After Iriola's almost got Rayo Vallecano into Europe and Slot's just won the Dutch League, the Dutch Cup, and got his team far into Europe. It's mental. It's mental. The ego is mental. But, you know, I'll go over them comments as, you could not get a bigger come and get me plea from Rafa, yeah, than what he said yesterday on Sky. Can you? My family love England. I love England. We live up north. They live in, I believe, in Liverpool. You know what I mean? He's won Champions League, managed at Real Madrid, won a Europa League at Chelsea, took Newcastle down, brought them straight back up by winning the division. You've got Nuno, who's been at Valencia, I believe. He's been at Wolves. He's been at Tottenham. Yeah, it didn't go well there, but still, you know, he won the Manager of the Month at Tottenham. All this talk about, he's not great man management. I don't care. They've been mollycoddled for the last 18 months. And I worry about the squad, you know, and it's easy with hindsight now, but I got it wrong. Because guess what? The signings are not the ones either. The signings are not. Rasmus Christensen did a foul throw. Oh my God. Chasing the game. Relegation 6-pointer, and he can't throw the ball in. Yeah, he was at Porto as well, Jamie. He can't throw the ball in. Aronson does not like a challenge. And when he does get challenged, he falls on the floor. Rutter looks like he can't run. Well, I mean, Adams is good. McKennie looks okay, but again, neither of them can progress the ball well enough. We need Rocker in there, and quick. But even yesterday, Skubala should have rolled the dice, man. Play JB, or at least when you realise we need to match them up in midfield, you do it, and you take off Harrison, who, by the way, it was his worst performance in a Leeds United shirt. Worst performance in our biggest game. Mental. Yeah, agreed. DLR, Michael, who said they need a squad. The squad needs to rocket up their ass. Jesse and Skubala, too nice, laid back. Yeah, I agree. They need some back of that Bielsa love, you know? Well, you don't question me. You do as you're told. You know, we don't have a relationship, because that's what got the best out of them. You know what I mean? Look at the players and when were the best time. Yeah, the manager was a genius in terms of the football we played. But all this, they need this. They don't need that. Oh, Rodrigo. Don't get me started on Rodrigo. I'm so disappointed with that. Can you imagine Rodrigo needing confidence against Accrington Stanley? Needing confidence. And the excuse was to play him alongside Bamford, and he played him for 7 minutes. That's less, because Bamford's gone back. There's no competition now for Bamford, so now he's back. He's back terrible again. Why won't he use his right foot? Instep yesterday gets a shot on target. Instead, he flicks it with the outside of his left boot and misses it. Terrible. Absolutely shocking display. And just to further, like, let me share this with you now as well. Like, this is what, again, just on that Rodrigo chat, like, this is the other 14. So this is the other 14, a Twitter pages that looks at all the clubs outside of the top 6, yeah, for like points, etc. And it's looking at players, combined goals and assists. Look who's fifth. Rodrigo, 10 goals, 1 assist, 11 in total. 5th outside of the top 6, which is where Leeds United need to get their points. Yeah? Which is where Leeds United need to get their points. And the manager presided to play him in a game we were 3-0 up against League One opposition. And I don't care about Joe, it's unfair. He could get injured in training. He could get all these sort of things. No, I hear that. But ultimately, it's cost us that decision, and you live and die by your decisions. Yeah? That's cost us. That has cost us. But it's also a worrying stat to say that we've only got 1 in there when you consider we've actually scored quite a lot of goals this season. But our main man's out for 2 months. Will he make it towards the end of... I don't know. We might already be down. You think, bro, you think. We're all in this boat, though. We're all feeling like this. You know, I'm hoping tonight the final word at 8 o'clock will give me some positiveness. You know, we've got some people that try and find the... You know, I used to be one. I can't anymore because there are none. Imagine what it's going to be like on Sunday. They went and beat Chelsea, man. Oh. Oh, man. What's going on there? What is going on? You know, and I was saying yesterday when... want me to rap. I don't even watch, but I know that meme. I don't even watch that Love Island stuff, but that's so funny when he says, does anyone want me to rap? Saturday. See, I don't even know what day it is at the minute. You could argue, Josh. You could argue, brother. You could argue that, couldn't you? Let's be honest. Still no chat. And look, I just keep waiting. I see Fabrizio Romano tweet. I see other people, and I'm like, is this the one? Well, every day, Kaffness White. Every day of the week. I said it on Twitter, and I get laughed at. The worst thing is, this is the worst thing. If they fail to get Rafa in, because you and I know, right? You and I know any other team in the 20 teams would go for Rafa. Apart from Southampton, but they're as batshit crazy because they're the ones that just got rid of all the experiences. We're just going to go this route and bought a load of kids from Man City. They're just as bad. But I think if they fail to get Rafa Benitez, it is mental because any other ownership. Look, Everton brought him in. And he was despised. And guess what? When they sacked him, they got worse under Frank. They'd have never gone down under Rafa, and I still stand by that. He's adored in Newcastle. And he would be the same in Leeds. I believe that. He's that type of character that if he's for your club, you know what I mean? Facts. I speak of facts. Remember when he had to go at Fergie? I'm all about that. Facts. I still think Leeds United have enough pull. But this is the mad thing as well, right? This is another thing that proper gets to me. 9 days ago, right, when he was sacked before Everton, it looked all right. Yeah? You know, you could even argue after the midweek game against Man United, it looked all right. On Sunday, a week ago, it looked all right. You know, yeah, they lost 2-0, but they were doing all right. After leaving it and leaving Skubala in charge and gambling, yeah, as I say, we now look a worse proposition. We now look a worse proposition because they failed to act. It's got worse, not better. So even if they were maybe approaching Nuno or Iriola or whatever, They're not going to come now because it's worse. It's worse than it was. It's mental. It's mental. Just Hannah says Liverpool still love Rafa. Yeah, exactly. And he's won the lot. He's won the lot. And he's even won the championship. That's what I'm saying. That's the real kicker here. As with Nuno, this is the real kicker. They've won the league that we are destined for at this moment in time. Now, remember I shared with you 538.com, which looks at statistical data and looks at games played, XG, and all this sort of stuff, right? Now, this is the positive, right? This is the positive that I've got for you. They still have Leeds United staying up. Somehow, right? They still have Leeds United staying up. So, just one sec. Where's the predicted finish? There we go, points. They still have Leeds United staying up on 37 points. Yeah? They still have us staying up. 1 point above Everton. That's based on games to be played, etc. Let's have a look and see how this works, yeah? Let's have a look. The forecasts are based on sustainability revised version of ESPN Soccer Power Index, a rating system. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to see how it works. Right. At the heart of our club, soccer forecasts are 538 SPI ratings, which are our best estimates of teams' overall strength. I'll zoom in so you can see it a bit more. In our system, every team has an offensive rating that represents the number of goals it would be expected to score against an average team on a neutral field, and a defensive rating that represents the number of goals it would be expected to concede. These ratings in turn produce an overall SPI rating, which represents the percentage of available points. A win is worth 3 points, a tie is worth 1 point, and a loss worth 0 points. The team would be expected to take if that match were played over and over again. Yeah? So 9 times out of 10, Leeds United should come out on top in this fixture. Therefore, we'll give them 3 points. So that's how it's actually worked out. Okay? So they're saying, based on what they've seen on the SPI rating so far, that Leeds United stay up. And a lot of that is due to the fact that we are expected to score more goals than what Everton are. We're expected, according to this metric, to concede the same amount as Everton, but score more. So over the course of the season, we'll stay up. Now, just to give it some... Yeah, below, load up. Yeah, no. Dylan, I hear it. I hear what you're saying. I'm trying to look for some positives. But, okay, if we go back to last season, it did have us the week before staying up. It did have us the week before, and it got it right. It got it right, okay? It did get it right. Let's have a look at the previous season where it had Leeds United finishing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It had it finished 9th. We finished 9th. Yeah, we are clutching at straws, but what I'm saying is maybe, just maybe, but then again, look, listen, I am clutching at straws, Chris, I am. You know what I mean? I am, bro. But sometimes the underlying numbers do come true. But, like we said, you know, it is impressive temp name. It is decent. But it will change next week, Lee Baird. You're right. Like, if I go back to February 15th, right, so this is before yesterday's games. I'll show you now, right? This is before yesterday's games. It had us finishing above Forest, right? Because obviously it expects us to beat Everton. Forest have got City. Forest get a point. Unexpectedly, we lose to Everton. What does that do to the changes? So today... it's moved Forest above Leeds. Everton still in the bottom 3. Yeah, no. It's not, bro. It's the week before. It's the week before. Yeah, no, exactly. This is all we do have left. This is all we do have left. Do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to look for some positives. And that's it. That's it. That's the first thing I did this morning. I woke up and thought, right, it did have a stain up yesterday. I'll have a look today. And it's still got a stain up. That is the ray of light, Brian. This is the ray of light that we needed, bro. I've give it you. I've give it you. I've give you a ray of light. Oh. Chris says, get off the glue, Joe. You've literally... Cheers, Chris. Thank you. Do you want to explain to me how it works? Have I got that wrong? The statistical data, have I got that wrong? Maybe you might know more than me. I'm sorry if that's the case, Chris W. The website is 538. 538. But we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll have to wait and see. Leeds United need to go and get a manager, you know. And I think, like I said, the two that are out there is Rafa and Nuno that can be got at. And I think as well, what we've got to think about with the 538 metric as well, it's got us scoring more goals than Everton. Now, that was when Jesse was in. And one thing we can say for Jesse, we did score quite a lot of goals. Scoring wasn't the issue. It was conceding, wasn't it? Yesterday, it looked the other way. Do you know what I mean? Southampton's massive, but we need to have a new manager in. We need to have a new manager in. If we haven't got a new manager in, it's crazy. They can't let it go on another week. It just can't. You know, let's not forget as well, Radrazani told us, didn't he? The target I set is between 10th to 14th. 10th if we're lucky. If we're not lucky, we are 15th. I don't want any more heart attacks. I don't have any doubt that we will avoid a similar situation to last season. It is impossible, he says. We're now in the relegation zone. We're now in the relegation zone. It's mad. And there's still nothing, is there? Still nothing. This is what I don't understand. We're not hearing anything at all. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe that is a good thing, that we're not hearing anything at all. Let me just answer this. Where's that comment just gone? Lee, I was in the Championship before, bro. I've got a season ticket. I was doing these videos in the Championship on All Leeds TV. Nothing changes, does it? Nothing changes. Unfortunately, you know, like your family, you can't change your family, you can't change your football club. Do you know what I mean? There's some things you can change. I can't stop caring. I can't stop caring, unfortunately. I wish I could. I wish I could switch it off. Anyone who's managed to do that, I take my hat off to you, who's been able to just switch off from football. But I can't. Unfortunately, I wake up, I'm checking 538. I'm looking on Twitter. Why aren't we hearing any news? Why aren't we hearing anything? You know? But they're sat on their ass. You've got one guy who was brought in to engineer as increasing the stadium. Well, that's not going to happen, is it? That's not going to happen. The renewals are out soon as well. It'd be interesting. I dare the club to put out renewals at this point. Mental. You know, yeah, back to it. Sorry. You know, Angus was brought in to engineer the stadium increase like he did at West Ham, like he did at Arsenal. Rads he's a football fan like me and you. Makes emotional decisions, does so on Twitter. And Victor's the footballing man. Maybe Victor won't like working with a Rafa. because he'd be told to get in his place. Maybe he won't like working with the Nuno. I don't know, but then again, I can't say that because they brought us Bielsa. I'm just angry at them. But yeah, I don't know. It's mad. It's mad, isn't it? And I think as well, like, I don't have the answers anymore. I'm running out of things to say, actually. I'm just, because I'm going through this in my head as well. Do you understand? Like, people, you can't switch this stuff off, unfortunately. You can't switch Leeds off. If you can, please tell me how to do it. I really, really struggle to do it. It was a massive game yesterday. Kev knows. Liverpool fan, of course, and gave them great times. And this is my thing, Kev. And it's the same with Nuno. I'd rather have Rafa over Nuno. But they both have won the championship as well. So you can sell them the project. Rafa's talking on Sky about a project, 3-year project. Our owners are too busy worrying about a glamour manager who's going to be the real successor to Bielsa. I thought Jesse with that. Do you know what I mean? But you can sell the project to Nuno or to Rafa by saying, if we do go down, we'll keep you in charge. You know? Because guess what? You've both won the league. Baseline Bible says, I've just gone past the yard. Don't know if it is anything to do with a new manager, but seen camera guy filming a guy getting out of a car. He looked like, I can't say the name because I don't know if I don't know. I don't know who that is, bro. Thank you for your super chat, Baseline Bible, but I don't see that any of that happening without us hearing anything. Probably just, I don't know, it might be Sky Cameras, Tim, whatever his name is. Oh, Phil Hayes tweeted. Leeds United had it, lost it. The book stops at the top. That's just his article. Yeah, it's just his article. Joe, it's not over till it's over. 2 out of our 4 wins are against Chelsea and Liverpool, which are unlikely wins. I'm worried, but doesn't mean no, Jordan, I agree with you, bro. But I would argue Liverpool was shocking at the time and Chelsea sacked the manager and are still shocking now. So them wins in isolation don't look as great, if I'm being honest with you. Now, beating Liverpool now would look totally different. 2 wins on the bounce, squad getting back. They've just given Newcastle their loss at St. James's. They were already 2 up before he was sent off. You know, let's not pretend that was the sole reason, because it wasn't. You try beating them now. Chelsea maybe. That's why Southampton, we've got Chelsea in a couple of weeks, but we need to have a new manager in. This is the point I was making in as well. Is like, if we don't change, you know, I have no confidence if, for example, Skubala, I have zero confidence here. I'm shitting myself, right? Don't care about this. But if Skubala's still in charge, no disrespect, I have no confidence we get any results. I don't, but if you bring someone like Nuno or if you bring someone like Nuno or you bring Rafa in, do I think we can go to Chelsea and win 1-0? Shithouse, yes. Do I think we can get something against Brighton at home? It'll be tough, but I'd say yeah. Do I think we can go away to Wolves? Yeah. But not with Skubala, unfortunately. The chat of Pepe Bordalas was the Valencia manager. My apologies. I'm not sure. We'd have heard something on the grapevine for sure. Something would have been heard up until this point. But looking for positives, like my man just said earlier, you know, we can still get results with a better manager, with someone we know. I know we can maybe get something. I'd choose Rafa, mate, just because he's done more. But, like, you know, home to Palace, could get something right. Liverpool, Fulham away, maybe. Mays minging. You might as well write us off. I don't know where the wins are coming from, actually. I thought looking at them and thinking about the manager would make it better. Look at that last month. It's stinking. It's stinking. We're running out of games and quick. The club have basically presided over us getting relegated. I do feel that that's the situation that we're in now. But how can you stop that rot? Maybe look at a better manager. Look at Rafa. He was twerking yesterday on Sky. He wants the job. Bloody give him the job. If not, go to Nuno and pay him his release clause and give him the job. And maybe, just maybe, we can pick up 3 points on Saturday. 3 points on Saturday and get out of the relegation zone. If we don't, then we're done for out here. We're done for. Skubala can't be in charge against Southampton. He can't be, I'm sorry. Because then it's the players and him picking. Nah. Go get Rafa. Go get Nuno. And we'll give ourselves a chance. Because not only that, if we do go down, at least it'll be a fight in relegation. Otherwise, we might finish bottom of the table. If we do go down, we have a manager there in either Rafa or Nuno that have won the championship. Hoping and praying season. Listen, thanks everyone for tuning in. And as always, smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, get your comments in, hit that notification bell. I am going to go to the dogs on to work. I'm going to eat some dinner and then I'm going to come back and do some Football Manager streaming and watch us actually win some games. So I'll be streaming a little bit later on. Don't forget as well, we've got the final word, which is at 8 o'clock with myself, Chris, Joe, Luke, Rocco, and Max at Leeds lately. Full house tonight, so we'll be there at 8 o'clock, and I'll also be streaming in a couple of hours on Football Manager or FIFA. So join me for that if you're stuck for something to do. And like I say, we're actually in the European spots on Football Manager. So, you know, I brought in Baron Brayton Diaz, Gertrude at the back, and someone else I forget. But listen, that's something to look forward to. You keep your head up as well, Brian. Smash a like on your way out, folks, and I'll see you on the other side. Peace out.